our doctor, Dr. Hafiz, has actually really dealt with this topic with us. It's a little bit complicated, but I think it's something that every Muslim should have a very clear understanding about it. Because as we know, zakat is a very, very crucial and one important point or principle that we have to adhere to in Islam. So we're talking about budgeting and planning in Islam. Islam mandates careful planning rights from setting goals for every life domain, including the financial domain. Using the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslims learn to care about their resources and build savings for their families while avoiding unnecessary dependence on others. In contemporary usage, budgeting refers to the strategic process that people use to decide their financial expenditures. The Islamic faith provides support for this concept through multiple essential principles. In Islam, the management of wealth functions as a religious trust, which Muslims must handle with responsibility since Allah gives them this trust. As believers in Allah, Muslims maintain their trust in Him, yet they need to work diligently and develop prudent plan. True tawakkul demands Muslims to maintain a state of balance relationship between their work efforts and trust in Allah. We can buttress this by what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. It is better for one of you to take a rope and bring a bundle of firewood on his back and sell it, rather than to beg from someone who may or may not give him. This hadith reflects the Islamic value of financial independence and the dignity of labor. Good budgeting helps Muslims to meet their obligations. One, to provide for the family, paying zakat properly, savings for emergencies, and preparing for long-term goals such as Hajj, education, and housing. This just simply portrays that we need to be financial. We should not be dependent financially on people. We need to really work hard to earn money so that this will take care of our daily needs. Avoiding debt and financial traps. According to the Islamic teachings, the avoidance of pointless debts holds important priority. Debt itself does not count as forbidden within Islam. Yet, Muslims face discouragement for incurring debt except when necessary and must be paid back immediately without lying about it. I think our ustads have been telling us this about debt to the extent that they made us to understand that even if a Muslim dies and they still have a debt, it is very important for that debt to be settled before the Muslim is finally buried. So we need to actually guide against unnecessary debt. We are not saying that we cannot when necessary, but don't just take debt as a normal thing that we think we should do, and we just flaunt it and we don't even bother how to pay it back. Avoiding debt and financial traps. Financial literacy in Islam involves understanding contract before you sign. We are talking that we need to be financial literate. So we need to understand what we're doing at any point in time. If you need to sign a contract, you need to understand what the contract entails, knowing the risk of financial products, choosing halal alternatives, and living within one's means, which is very, very important. We should not say because person A is doing this, I just have to do it when I know that I don't have the means. Muslims are advised to keep debt minimal and repay it as soon as possible. So teaching financial literacy in Islam, homes, and community. This is where we think that we need to start from the basis. We need to teach our financial literacies in all our homes and in our community. The Islamic learning of financial responsibility must begin at an early age, inside homes and throughout communities. Parents, together with educators, takes fundamental responsibility in developing people who can manage their finances properly. They will still come back to what our earlier speaker told us, that what the role of a parent or a man in the family. We need to really teach our kids all these things while they were still young, so that by the time they grow up, it becomes part of them. So, raising children with financial awareness. This will encourage savings from their pocket money. Explain to them that gains achieved through honest work bring the most value. The introduction of both zakat and charity concepts needs explanation. Like we said, we as a Muslim, we need to get a very good understanding and perspective of zakat. That is when it will actually make meaning to us, and something that we need to take very, very important. So, discourage wastefulness and impulsive buying. They've been telling all this. We know that as a Muslim, we should avoid wasting food, wasting things, and we should not just unnecessarily just be buying stuff that we think that we don't need. So, because in doing this, this will keep us within our means, and we will not go out of our way, and definitely we will avoid unnecessary debt. So, teaching financial literacy in Muslim homes and communities still go further. We have talked about us starting from our home and our community, from our homes. Then mosque and community programs. We're saying that mosque and the community as well should organize financial literacy workshops regularly. The community should invite specialists in Islamic finance to deliver presentations on this topic. Then the program should deliver budgeting tools alongside planning instruments, which assist families to stay away from interest-based financial system. We know that as a Muslim, we are not permitted to engage in riba, which we talked about earlier on, interest. So we should, although we know the community that the environment that we are, but if we are conscious of this, we will try to do away with it as much as we can. Then youth engagement. Modern day Muslim youth deals with multiple hurdles, including student debts and consumer pressures, together with scarce information about Islamic investment opportunities. When provided with educational financial support during childhood, they can develop critical understanding to select ethical choices in money matters. This is what we're saying, that if we start this from when they are young, it will become part of them. When our kids grown up, they will be able to know the right thing to do and the right choices to make. The spiritual impact of financial discipline. Financial literacy in Islam achieves two essential goals: the elimination of potential challenges alongside accomplishing greater defined objectives. A faith individual will handle wealth properly because, it will handle wealth properly and become more generous. If you handle your wealth properly, you will understand that even the wealth is given to you by Almighty Allah, and you will be able to be generous to others. And you will have a less burden, like we said. Understand, you have a good financial literacy. You know that what you don't need actually need to go for it, and you won't put yourself in unnecessary debt, and you have less burden on you. You will be more focused in ibadah, that's worship, instead of worries, because your mind is free, you are not unnecessary stressed, so you have more time to worship Almighty Allah, and you will not have stress that which can lead to unnecessary illness or whatever it is. Then capable of supporting good causes. Yeah, because you are a free-minded person, you are not debt burdened, so you will be able to actually with your wealth to support good causes. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam praised the believers who in both wealthy and good conscience, saying, "Blessed is the wealth of a Muslim from which he gives to the poor, the orphan, and the wayfarer." So that is a teaching from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, to support what we are saying, that every good Muslim should be charitable, so we give to the poor, the orphan, and those who are in need. So wealth, when managed properly, becomes a tool of goodness, not a source of arrogance or division. Modern tools and allowed financial options. Modern financial technologies today, with Islamic financial options, have become available for those who strive to combine their religious beliefs with their financial conduct. Consisting of a substantial $2.5 trillion market value, Islamic finance emerges as a worldwide standard operating across more than 80 nations. The fast-growing Islamic finance industry demonstrates how religious does not clash with monetary matters. This, we are saying that our religion does not stop us from doing the normal thing. It is just for us to know what is out there, where we need to go. You want to do a mortgage, you want to get financing, you want to get lease. There is those finance, the Islamic options for you out there to do all these things. So it's not an excuse for us to feel that we just have to go to the conventional banks to get interest-based finances. So Islamic banking and finance, particular example. Islamic banks with Al Rayyan Bank, Gatehouse Bank, QIB UK, and Bank of London and the Middle East provide Sharia compliant products which do not use interest while supporting ethical investment practice. So we can actually do everything that is happening in the real world as a Muslim without contravening our Islamic tenets. For example, the use of Murabaha financing operates for purchasing houses or automobiles. The bank purchases the asset before selling it to the customer, who pays an increased sales cost instead of receiving interest payment, which is the same thing that they do in the conventional mortgage system. But theirs is that they do interest where there is a bit of uncertainty. You can start with 2% today, and they tell you it's 10% tomorrow, and you get into it. It's either you continue, you can't afford it, they ask you to drop the property. So, but this one, you know what is involved from the beginning. They've told you this is how much this is go for, and this is how much you're going to pay. So you can go home to sleep. You know that whatever you are paying monthly is not going to be affected by any inflation or whatever it is. So the leasing arrangement of Ijara functions as a rental system which primarily operates within auto or equipment agreement. Through Mudaraba financing, two parties work together by giving capital and managing investment. Islamic ethics combine through these methods to both encourage shared risk exposure and avoid opacity. That's transparency. This is what we're saying. Even we've talked about mortgage, we can still do leasing through Mudaraba or Ijara. We all know the two types of leasing that we have. We have finance lease and operating lease. This is what they're saying here. There is one that from the beginning when you start, the property is yours. You just pay off and you take it. There's a list which is a financial list that when you just do the leasing, you just it's like you just borrowing the equipment. You pay the lease, and at the end of the lease period, the ownership does not pass to you. That's the two financing that we are talking here. So just to let you know that everything that is out there, we have them in Islam as well. So halal investment and entrepreneurship. A growing number of Muslims youths people show interest in halal investment opportunities. The screening platform of Wahid Invest together with Soya uses these services to verify stock market without worldwide according to Sharia standard. This is what this is saying is we have some financial institutions now that whereby they have this mechanism that calculates your zakat automatic on your finances yearly. So the burden of how much will I pay, when do I pay, the system is set in a way that at the end of 1 year, when like they told us the threshold, once it gets to 12 calendar month or a year, then the system will just calculate your zakat for you automatically. I think I need to speed up because they've told me that we don't have too much time. So I'm going to skip some of those so that we can come to the. Let's look at the common misconceptions about wealth in Islam. Traditional financial literacy requires both tools comprehension and analytical skill to examine accepted academic beliefs. Numerous mistakes concerning both Islam and monetary matters persist among both Islamic believers and non-believers. Clarify this is very, very essential. That's what we're saying. There is nothing, it's just in summary, it's still the same thing we are saying. Everything that happened out there, we just need to seek for that knowledge. And we need to really know the right thing that we need to do. Don't let us give an excuse that, oh, yeah, because that's what everybody is doing. I just have to do it, and Allah will understand. So please, let's look out there to seek for that required knowledge. Islam encourages wealth with responsibilities. The Prophet's companions who happen to be rich, the companions of Prophet during his time, who happens to be rich merchants, include Abu Bakr, Usman ibn Affan, and Abdurrahman ibn Auf. The Muslim community used their resources to offer support for both their community members and to fund campaigns and support the poor. So we're saying, please, as a Muslim, we have a duty to propagate Islam with our wealth, with our money. We help the needy. It's very, very important. Money itself does not receive negative judgment in Islam because the meaningful questions revolve around the method of how people acquire wealth and manage their resources. Charity is a collective obligation. Zakat operates as an impressive social agreement rather than an act of free gift giving. Though through financial knowledge, Muslims learn that zakat serves as an instrument to move wealth between individuals for the betterment of the society. Religious injustice, not guilt, form the essential of the practice. It's still like me just trying to emphasize on what our religion expects from us. Zakat does not, like they always tell us, when we give zakat or give sadaqah, it doesn't reduce your wealth. It doesn't release anything from you. Rather, it multiplies your wealth if we really think about it in the real sense of it. And we've never seen anybody that because I give zakat or I give sadaqah, and now that's what makes me to be poor tomorrow. I've never seen that. Rather, we see people that give testimony that, oh, when I do this, Almighty Allah multiplies it for me. Let me just go to the conclusion because I'm wary of the time now. So, yeah, conclusion, empowering the ulama through financial methods. Financial wisdom serves to empower the Ummah towards prosperity and justice in Islam society. Financial knowledge stands essential in building an Islamic society based on justice and prosperity because it anchors on personal development programs alongside family education and community leadership role. If a financially literate Muslim is less vulnerable to manipulations and debt traps, more generous and effective in supporting Islamic causes, better equipped to raise strong, self-reliant families, a modern of trust, ethics, and discipline in the workplace and society. And I put something there. I said, let's imagine a generation that understands halal and haram in every transaction. We just imagine how it will look. Every one of us know that we know the difference between halal and haram. Can afford to fund mosque, schools, and hospital. That's by charity. Can live free from debt and full of dignity. This is not a dream. It is a goal that begins with education. Let's just imagine that we have a community that just believes in these three concepts and see how the whole world will be. Because there won't be anybody that will be able to sleep and close our two eyes because we know that the riches take care of the poor. So why will you be worried? And everybody, there's no extra burden on us. You will see that we will have an healthy life because everyone is being taken care of automatically by the system. Let us encourage schools and Islamic centers to include financial literacy in their curriculum. Families to talk about money openly and wisely. Community leaders to advocate for halal financial services. As the Quran says, Allah has made trade lawful and interest unlawful. That's Surah Al-Baqarah 2, verse 275. And as the prophets reminded us, that strong believers is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believers though there is good in both. Both of them are Muslims, but one of them carry more weight than the other. So strength includes, Muslim strength includes financial strength used to serve, uplift, and protect. So we are saying that if we are actually equip ourselves and we have financial literacy, we are able to do things within our means. We understand what it takes to manage our resources. We will have a less stressful life. We won't have unnecessary burden on us. So we'll be able to do all the good things, all the needful that Islam preaches us to do. We are unable to do most of these things because we have put ourselves into too much stress. We want to get everything. Nobody can get everything. We should just try to leave everything to Almighty Allah. Let's do our best and leave the rest for Almighty Allah to handle for us. May Almighty Allah be with every one of us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for that little or that brief, for that big financial literacy that we all listen to. And I guess some of us must have taken a lot of things in consideration regarding the financial, how you can do all your finances regarding in Islamic way or out of Islamic way. But at the moment, we're supposed to be going for dinner. Please, it's actually ready. But before we go, I'd like our Zonal missioner to please Alaji Ibuowo to please pray for our speaker, Alaji Okubadejo. Thank you, sir.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We ask Almighty Allah to reward Alhaji Lukman Ogunbadejo for his selfless service or selfless services to Nasrullah Al-Fati. This is one of it. He has been doing a lot of things at the back office. May Allah reward every one of you for your contribution towards the deen. May Allah accept everything from us as an act of ibadah. Make it for us or not against us in this world and in the hereafter. We recited Surah Al-Fatiha twice today. We're going to recite the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah because you quoted a lot of Surah Al-Baqarah today. So to last three verses, we're going to recite together. You know, we all know it. Let's, with smile, let's recite for Alhaji Lukman Bola Ogunbadejo and every one of us as well. Bihaqi bismillahir rahmanir rahim. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربي والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لا ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تأمن علينا إسرا كما عملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تؤملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا وانصرنا على القوم. Surah Al-Dua and Alam Nashra, starting from him and all the management body and director of Tafsan. May Allah bless every one of you. Wadduha Alam Nashra. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wadduha إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك ما قال ولا لآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولا سوف يؤتيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you very much, sir, for that prayer. Yes. Before we go, I'm going to call on my father, the Zonal chairman for Council of Elders, Alhaji Tola Akorede, to please present this gift to Alhaji Okubadejo. Okay, Alhaji Muhammadu Jamiu Tola Akorede. Thank you very much, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My ZM, on behalf of the entire Zonal Executive Council of Nasfat in UK and Ireland, personally, I have to thank Alhaji Ogunbadejo. Why? Because when he started his presentation, he did mention that this is being put together within the purview of 72 hours. Thank you very much for giving me very short notice, okay? Because if we have given him 2 weeks, we are going to stay here till semester course. And that shows that he actually put a lot into putting these presentation slides together. Thank you very much for coming over to share your experience and giving us this in-depth knowledge. As I've said, on behalf of the Zonal Executive Council of Nasrullah Al-Fati, UK and Ireland, and the organizers of this family retreat for year 2025. I present this to you. May Almighty Allah continue to strengthen you in knowledge and continue to bless you abundantly. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalatu wassalamu ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very for the presentation. Sorry, the next thing is just the dinner. The food is ready. And after the dinner, we have the Maghrib. And after Maghrib, we have the family event, please. That family event is very important. We want all the adults, all the children, everybody to be here. There is no more creche. Creche is closed. So we're all going to take after all our children in here, please. Thank you very much. Take bill.